What's up, folks? Well, I'm going to give a response to, excuse me, Beautiful Soul. She made a comment about the Mike Brown incident, how things went down, and giving a rest in peace and a condolence to the family. And I do the same, and I feel for the family for having to go through this. In discussion of what she spoke of, she made a lot of great points, and I hope that y'all listen to what she had to say. The point is that we as black people, a race, have to understand that we have to somehow take responsibility for the things that we do and don't do. See, we have a tendency, we want to get offended by things that are true. The truth is hard to deal with. But if you're smart, you can deal with the truth and you move on because it's called constructive criticism. It helps you grow. But we can't do that. We take whatever somebody says about us and we hold that into the highest regards, and how dare you say this because you don't know us and you're not in our skin. Not really. That's not the point that needs to be made. The point that needs to be made is we as black people need to start taking care of each other. See, we get mad when the white man comes through or any other race comes through and just starts killing black folks. I get it. It's offensive. The whole Mike Brown thing was offensive. The gentleman in New York that was strangled by the cop, offensive. There's many stories that we don't even hear about. There was a story that about a gentleman who was, 5 miles away from Mike Brown who got killed by the cops. But it didn't make press like the riots did. I guess being a riot, it made it more popular, but it didn't make it more important. Mike Brown was gunned down, period. Whether he was right or wrong for whatever he did prior to that, that doesn't matter. Every man deserves his day in court. He deserves to live to see his day in court. But then again, on the same line, when I look back and I start thinking about all the things going on, I said, we make these points to ourselves and we make these problems ourselves. See, Roland Martin said this: let's make this moment a movement. But see, that's something we don't do. We don't make a movement. We sit back and we complain, we bitch, we gripe about things that we can change or we can do something about, but we don't. Because we expect somebody else to do it for us. We can't do that, people. We have to somehow take a point and say, you know what? We have to stand up together as in unity. Why can't black people get together and have unity? See, the news, the media, shows every bad aspect of us there is. And why? Because our youth is giving them so much to dang go on. Between the saggy pants, the knocking out old people, they're just doing things that are just stupid. Where do we turn? Where do we go? How do we make something better when we're not showing anything better? And that starts at home. And I'm going to be real. People tell me I'm mean. They say, you don't let your kids do this, you don't let your kids do that, and you got to be your kids' friends. I'm not the damn friend. I'm the parent. Let's keep that understanding straight and first and foremost. I may be friendly with you, but I am not your friend. Because when it's all said and done, I'm the one that's put in charge of raising you to grow and to be a productive part of society and not being a problem. Beautiful Soul said that there's more women in college than men. Black men, excuse me. More black women in college than black men. That's true. Because the black men are out here doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Don't get me wrong. I believe in legalizing marijuana, but that's not something that you hold on to. You don't grasp onto that and hold that as a badge of honor. You don't walk out here with your pants sagging as a badge of honor. You don't walk out here and just say F the police because you don't have to care about them. Yeah, you do have to care about them. Because I hate to tell you, they're licensed to carry a gun. You carry a gun, you go to jail. Or they'll kill you. So when do you start making a point of saying we need to do something more constructive to help ourselves? We're not doing anything constructive. That's the problem. People, we have to do more. This goes to men and women. I'm a man. I'm a black man in this world, and I live and I see it every day. I got punked by a Lake City officer the other day, and it hurt me to my heart because I did nothing. But he used that to belittle me. And I looked and I said, you know what? He looked at me and said I was this, that, and the other. You had already had a preconceived notion of what I was before I even opened my mouth. It had nothing to do with how I was dressed. It had nothing to do with my mannerisms. It had nothing to do with anything other than the color of my skin. And see, he was a black cop, which made it even worse because you were doing it to ourselves. How do we do it to each other? See, black officers get a very bad role because somehow you don't know how to still be you, but be the man as well. I don't really understand the whole reasoning behind why they do what they do, but I do understand that I have no choice in what they do on a certain level. But again, turn a moment into a movement. We stick together. We find ways to make our voice heard. Productive ways to make our voice heard. People, unlike Beautiful Soul, I really don't care how you come back at me. You can come back respectful or you can come out your bag. Either way it goes, guess what? You're going to get what you give. But I'm being honest. I'm being forthright. I'm telling you exactly how it is. Because I am a black male in this world. And I look at the society that we live in. I look at the children that we're raising. And we're so much trying to be their damn friend instead of raising them to be productive. How do you go to a job interview with sagging pants? Really, how do you do that? Because if I was an employer, you would get not the time of day. That interview would be over so quick and make your head spin. People, where do we go from here? How do we make something better than what we're doing? Because we're not doing anything, to be honest with you. All we're doing is whenever something happens, we make a whole lot of noise about what? But then when it's over and done with and the moment's gone, so are we. I've been sitting up here and I've been giving my little video, whatever you want to call it, about how we should change. I want to change. I want things to be better. But if we don't make a problem better, we're part of the problem. So what are you? Part of the problem or part of the solution? I want to be part of the solution. I want to find a way that my children can grow up and I don't have to worry about them going out. I don't have to worry about my son being caught in front of a police officer and him being shot down. My daughter being just victimized. Black on black crime is the worst crime there is. Why? Because that means that we are racist against ourselves. If you're a racist against yourself, how does that work? How do you grow? How do you get better by doing the same garbage? All I can say is this. If you think that this is acceptable in the way that our children are growing and raising our grandchildren, if you think it's fine for them to see them doing the things they do and don't protect them, then don't worry about this video. Ignore it. But if you look and you see that things can be better and we have a voice and we need to use our voice, comment me. Tell me what you think. Come on, people. It's a new day. Every day that you wake up and that sun rises and you open your eyes, that's a new day for a new start. Stop making excuses. Excuses, excuse my French, are like assholes. Everybody has one. But the question is it valid? So I say this, and I say this to you honestly from the bottom of my heart. Listen to what she has to say, because Beautiful Soul gave you a very good understanding. But on the same line, understand what I'm saying. That we as a people have to do better. We have to grow. We have to be stronger. Because if we don't, we're going to be typecasted no matter what we do. You know how they look at us. We walk by a car, they lock their doors. They don't even want to talk to us. I don't like that. Do you? Is that cool with you? Can you live like this? Because I can't. So, Beautiful Soul, I think you gave a great point on what you were talking about. I really do. And I say this one. Don't stop giving a point. Because everybody, we have to find one so we can teach one so they can teach another. Because that's the best kind of advertising we can get. Word of mouth. Pass the word along. Let's do better. Let's be respectful to ourselves and others. Let's help the black community instead of keep raping it. Because that's what you're doing. And for those guys that killed that 13-year-old boy, you're wrong. I hope you're listening to me. I'm telling you, you're wrong. This is what I'm talking about. Children. These are children. Well, I'm going to cut this short. Y'all have a good night. God bless. And you know how I say it. Peace.